All right, today we're diving into a really dramatic story out of Nigeria, a high-stakes hostage rescue. And while it's a story about military tactics on the surface, it also pulls back the curtain on a much, much bigger national crisis.
Let's just start with this one number, because it's the most important one, 76. And look, that's not just a statistic, right? That's 76 people, 76 lives, including kids, who were in incredible danger. But they're free now, and that's the powerful outcome we're going to unpack here.
Okay, so how exactly did this all go down? Let's get right inside the operation itself in Nigeria's Katsina state.
So here's the play-by-play, broken down nice and simple. First, the actors. You've got the Nigerian military on one side, facing off against militant groups on the other. The location, as we said, was Katsina State. Now the method, this is key. They used counter-terror airstrikes. That was the main tactic. And the outcome? Well, it was a success. All 76 hostages were rescued.
But here's the thing. A successful rescue like this, well, it doesn't just happen in a vacuum. We have to kind of zoom out, because this one event is really just one piece of a much, much larger and more troubling story.
And that brings us to the big question, doesn't it? I mean, why were 76 people, kids among them, being held hostage to begin with? What's going on here?
And the answer, unfortunately, is something called Nigeria's ongoing kidnapping crisis. See, this rescue, it wasn't some random, isolated incident. It was a direct response to a huge and relentless security problem the country is facing. You've got militant groups who frequently abduct people for all sorts of reasons. Sometimes it's for ransom money, other times it's for political leverage.
So, if that's the problem, what about the solution being used? Let's take a closer look at the specific method we saw in this rescue, the airstrike. It's a really key part of the government's whole counter-terror strategy.
To put it simply, airstrikes have become the government's go-to tool for counterterrorism. This isn't a one-off thing. It's a deliberate and reoccurring approach they're taking to deal with these militant threats.
And this really lays out the government's thinking here. On one hand, you have the strategy, using military airstrikes as the primary weapon against these groups. And on the other hand, you have the stated goal, right? The why behind it all. And that's to decisively neutralize the threats and, of course, make hostage rescues, like the one in Katsina, possible. It's the how and the why of their playbook, side by side.
All right, so let's put all these pieces together. What does this all really mean? What's the real significance of this one operation in Katsina?
When you boil it all down, there are three big takeaways here. First, and this is the best part, it was a successful rescue. 76 people are safe, and that's a huge win. Second, it really shines a spotlight on a strategic choice the Nigerian military is making. They are relying heavily on airstrikes. And third, this whole incident is just a stark, unavoidable reminder of how severe and persistent this kidnapping crisis really is. And if there's one thought to really hang on to, it's this. This was, quote, a single operation that illuminates a much larger ongoing national security challenge. I think that just perfectly captures the tension here, right? You have this incredible moment of victory, but it's set against the backdrop of a really long, really difficult struggle.
And all of this leaves us with one final and, I think, crucial question to think about. The rescue in Katsina, no doubt about it, it was a tactical victory, a win on the day. But is this approach, is it a long-term strategic solution to the crisis? That's the really tough question this whole event forces us to ask.